It's a bird. It's a plane. Nah. It's your boy the Tan Superman. It's your boy JAMARI Speaks back here on the main channel. Today I'm back with some My Crazy Obsession, the show that highlights exactly what happens when your parents don't hug you enough as a child. Today we're gonna be catching up with Chad, the man who seems to be the most popular guy in town. This guy is so popular, in fact, that he's got over 300 friends who he lets stay rent-free in his apartment. What a nice guy, right? This is like the modern day Gatsby right here, folks. The only problem is that these friends of his, well, they don't have a pulse. And hold up there, Dracula. Don't get me wrong, this guy ain't some sort of psychopath living amongst all of his victims' bodies. He's just a regular old psychopath addicted to collecting mannequins.
I'd rather sit in a room full of mannequins than have to deal with one annoying person. You know?
You see what happens when you take the mannequin challenge too seriously, kids? This man has over 300 mannequins in his collection, and he spent well over $100,000 in his life on these creepy, lifeless things. He rides around town picking them up out of the dumpster, he purchases them online, and he even steals them from various retail locations. Basically, the mannequins have consumed his entire life. He explains that his dream is to one day have the biggest mannequin collection in the world, and he seems to be well on his way as they take up just about every square inch of this man's apartment. In his own words, he feels as though he's given these mannequins a second chance at life, like they're some sort of abused dogs that he rescued from the pound who now get a chance to live in his own little mannequin world. And to me, I truly think that this guy just wants to be a mannequin himself. Just look at this Chad posing in the middle of all of these plastic humans. Is this how Travis Scott feels at the family photo op? Cause these things are like family to him at this point. He explains that he enjoys their different little expressions, their different attitudes, and each mannequin even gets their own special name.
Hi, Marilyn. Thanks for being here. Hello, Liz. Margot, how are you? Susie? Samantha, hi.
Jesus Christ, it must take a good hour to say good morning to each and every one of these things. I can barely remember people's names in real life, and this guy has an index of 300 fake humans burned into his brain. It actually kind of reminds me of that scene in I Am Legend, the movie where Will Smith is the only guy left alive on Earth, and he tries to maintain his sanity by placing mannequins in the store he shops at, pretending to interact with them and shit.
If you're real, you better tell me right now!
And like I said before, it's completely taken over his apartment that he shares with his boyfriend Niko.
Did not know about his mannequin obsession. When we first met, 1 became 2, and then 2 became 25 in a span of like a month.
I'm telling you guys this right now, if your significant other shows any signs of having some sort of crazy obsession like this, you need to get out of that relationship ASAP, and you don't ever look back. I actually feel really bad for his boyfriend Niko, who's begun to feel very neglected as he enters the shadow of his extreme obsession and addiction to collecting these crazy mannequins. And since the apartment is all full inside with all these plastic bodies, he's even got some vintage mannequins down in the basement. I wouldn't be surprised if there was some real life bodies down there too, this crazy motherfucker.
This is where people ask me, doesn't this creep you out? People are more creepy than mannequins.
And he wasn't always a selfish freak like this, though it didn't take that long considering it all started back when he was only 8 years old and he watched a movie called, you guessed it, Mannequin. You know, this is everyone's favorite feel-good film about a young artist who makes a mannequin so perfect that he ends up falling in love with it.
You know, you're the first thing I've created that made me feel like an artist.
I'm dead serious, this is the premise for this amazing film. And after he finds this perfect mannequin later on in a store window, he ends up getting a job there and his creation comes to life to fulfill their deep love for each other.
To the rest of the world, he's a disaster.
You're quiet!
And she's a dummy.
You were one sick puppy.
But together,
Hey, don't do that.
You weren't so shy when you were creating me.
I'm sure this is what Chad wants his actual life to be, that some of these are gonna come to life and he's gonna have some sort of mannequin army. To me, it sounds like something straight out of a nightmare, but this guy Chad has personally seen this mannequin movie over 100 times, and it's literally inspired his entire life. Like, can you imagine if the apartment ever caught on fire? He'd be tossing mannies out the window, body parts would be absolutely everywhere, and the smell of burning plastic would be making Chad cry while the boyfriend shed those sweet, sweet like tears of joy. Niko even admits that Chad would probably choose a mannequin over him one day if it really came down to it, and I really don't think that this is an over-exaggeration. This guy is absolutely insane about these mannequins. And apparently it's actually a lot of work to keep these things preserved. He has all these special masks for the vintage mannequins, and they even spend hours bathing each one of these things individually every single month. You can tell poor Niko is growing to be more and more resentful against his boyfriend's little obsession every single day. They haven't gone on a vacation in years, they don't go out on any dates or anything like that, because this is literally where all of their extra money and time goes. Not to mention their place is about claustrophobic as f***.
Zazu, welcome. Meet your new dad.
So, where is Zazu and her 15 other friends gonna go? We're out of space.
You're right. We'll find some more space.
And then this guy runs all around town like some sort of expert, judging all of these window mannequins like anyone really gives half of a f***. He even runs into one that he feels like he really needs to save, but the owner insists that it's not gonna happen due to some sort of sentimental value he has with the mannequin. He's out here trading mannequins like they're some sort of Pokemon cards at the playground. And Niko is just getting pissed beyond belief as Chad shows up day after day after day with these mannequins in hand. With their relationship walking on eggshells, they start looking for an extra apartment to store all of his mannequins so that he can have a separate place to go and visit all of his plastic friends. And they finally settle on an apartment paying an extra $1,500 a month in rent, something a lot of people couldn't even afford for themselves.
I feel weird leaving them all here.
Good night.
Good night, Francis. Bye, Ula, Atong, Trevor. Good night, Marina. Bye, Tito.
You know, I honestly don't see how this relationship could last much longer if this obsession continues. There's no way Niko can ever even have some sort of friends or family over, with this being the current situation at his crib. Just if somebody walks into this type of situation, they're really about to paint you and anyone in association as some straight up serial killers. Listen, if I was Niko, the second I saw that first plastic head and body, I would have just ran for the hills. But maybe that's just me. I want to know what you guys think down below in the comments. Could you deal with a crazy obsession like this, especially one that's sucking up so much money? I'm telling you kids, that mannequin challenge is something else these days. But overall, I just want to thank you for watching. Please drop a big like on the video if you did enjoy it today. Share the video with your friends if you enjoyed it that much. Go follow me on Instagram, that's @JAMARI_speaks. We have some amazing conversations over there, guys. And overall, I just want to thank you guys for subscribing. Once again, thank you for watching. I gotta go fly off now. I'm out. Peace.